Well, this is new. So
Be
we're
back.
going to work out the kinks. That was special. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, twins.
Happy Thursday to you as well. We back at it on this
We're
Thursday
back
night
again.
turn up, going to the weekend because it is Friday tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get the thing going. Let's get it popping. How's your week?
You know what? It's been awful. I've been sick since like we last met. My voice might go in and out. So apparently, having the surgery made me more susceptible to getting sick, and so I actually got a viral throat infection, which has been worse to get over than the actual surgery. The surgery was nothing. This has been awful. Like it's actually been awful. I today was the first day I went back to work and I went for a half a day. I didn't even
Mm,
go for a full day because I actually had my surgery. Funny enough, my surgery follow up appointment was today, and he was like, "Oh no, everything's good with the surgery, but it's just whatever." Anyhow, this is life, and this is what it is. But I'm so blessed. I'm here. I will survive. This is the most I'm gonna have talked all day. I do not speak. I just literally gargle with salt water and I rest and I'm taking a round of like anybody. Anyways, it's the whole thing. But I'm here. Enough of my
okay.
complaining. I'm
Amen.
here.
Amen. Quick
Amen.
question.
How was good? Yes,
Quick
I'm
question.
ready.
Are you able to swap us? Because it has my name, it has your name under me. You
Okay,
see
let's
that?
see if I can swap you. That will be interesting. We're trying something new, everybody, and we're about to figure out. I will do it when you're talking.
Okay. If it don't work, we just keep it. I'll be Toshiba and you be Twin. We just do it at TNT. Everybody know who we are at this point now. Our week's been actually really good, productive week at work. Nice coming off a nice little 4 day, no, 3 day weekend vacation because July 4th was last week. So it was nice having that additional day off. Cookout was good, turnout. Of course, there's always one person that don't know how to handle liquor. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
I
You
didn't
always
put
you
my
always got
hand. I
one
even
person.
split it.
Exactly. You always got that one person on that handling the liquor, but outside of that, it was good. And plus, when they threw up, it was outside, so not too
I
bad.
feel like I want
Could
to
have been
hear
in
the
the house.
story. I want to hear the story.
I mean, people just
No,
drinking. It was an adult party, so we had drinks and I got a slush machine. That was a hit. So they was
not
playing
a
this Russian
slushy
roulette.
machine.
Yeah, yeah, like the Ninja. We're not getting sponsored, but if Ninja, you want to sponsor us? Hey, we open
Did
for it.
you did you buy or rent it?
No, I bought it. I bought it. I got a Ninja 501 slushing machine.
My girlfriend would probably love something like that. And you just added
Mhm.
alcohol to the slushies.
Yeah, yes. You had the drinks. We had all type of drinks. We had everything. It was
Oh,
definitely a good night. It was definitely a good adult moment. Like I said, right when it was about to get like round two, like night fun,
yeah.
that's when the person threw up, kind of threw the whole party off. I'm like, God dang.
Oh,
But
that's
outside of that, it was
unfortunate.
good. Good time, great weekend, got a lot of rest. So it was good. And week is great. Work is
I
awesome.
love
So
you
no
too.
complaints. And I'm back
I
here with
mean,
you. Let's get
thank you.
it.
Let's definitely get it. I am not a big drinker. I had my first drink at 26. And in Toronto, where I grew up, I think everybody knows that. Born in Jamaica, I grew up in Toronto. You can start drinking it. I know, you can start drinking at 19. And so imagine I was I was able to drink for 7 years, but I
Okay.
just was not a big drinker. Like I was still the girl in the middle of the dance floor doing her thing, but I just wasn't a big drinker. And then I got drunk once in my 30s and
Hmm.
never again. I hated that experience. I like to be cognizant of my surroundings. I like to know what's going on. So for me, I am a two drink max, unless we're on vacation and it's like a turn up or something. But mostly for me, it's like two drinks, and then after that, I'm good.
Makes
I
sense.
can't do it. I just
Fun
I can't
fact.
do it. Yeah.
Fun fact about twins. The first time I
Ready?
got now, I'm drunk 18, whatever. I'm not a big drinker at all. I mean, I might have like my favorite drink, like my daily drink. If I was gonna drink something every day, I like Bailey's rum. I like rum cream.
Oh,
I love
my
rum.
mom loves that.
Yeah, some ice cubes in there. Let that thing, get cool. I can sip it all day long.
That's my
But
mom.
But the first time I got drunk was on bachelor night at my wedding, like the bachelor night.
Got
Yeah,
you.
my
Got
brother, both
you.
my brothers, my uncle, one of my friends passed away. Took me to a club here in Georgia called Strokers, and they was giving me all type of drink. They was just, here, drink this, drink this, drink this. It got to the point like, Dwayne, stop telling girls just stop dancing. We ain't got no more money. I said, I ain't coming over. I had to tell her, hey baby, I was told. I said, hey babies, hey, y'all can stop dancing. We ain't got no more money. And they was gone too. I'm like, dang, I should love me. I was about to get married. Y'all was loving on me. Call me back to the streets. Nah, it was all about the money.
Not, not call me back to the street. Yes, sir. So all the guys, it is all about the money. As soon as the money is done, bye bye. But
Bye
I
bye.
digress. I know nothing about
Hmm.
that. We move
Okay.
on. we, we move
Give
on.
time for everybody
Anyway,
getting here today. Give everybody a little bit of time. So a little. Remember, we said this year. This year will be a little more the background, real life stuff about us. So that was my first, behind the scene life of twins. So I'm trying to work with you.
I love that for you.
Yeah,
Mine was actually because I had like it was so stupid. I had like a breakup party with my friends. I'd broken up with one of my boyfriends, and we had like this breakup celebration. And we go to this club, and I remember my boy just kept giving me shots. And again, I'm just like, yeah, I'm out, I'm gonna have a good time. Like I was gonna throw caution to the wind. And was like shots. And I just remember my girlfriend looked at me and says, she said, "Don't sit down." And I was like, whatever, like I'll be fine. I sat down, and
and
what I
got up.
remember was waking up in her house because I couldn't even get home. They brought. I looked up and I was like, "This is not my house, but this room is so familiar." Well, I was sleeping in my niece's room. Thank God she was gone for the weekend. And they gave me the whole thing about how they brought me upstairs, and I was like, "Never again." It just was. It's
Yeah.
like drinking is not for me. Like it's just so future husband, you don't have to worry. I will. I'm just not that girl. Like, and
And one thing,
I'm not like a drunk man either, so it's fine. I don't like
and also want to say, ladies, if you listen to what she just said, she went out with her girlfriends, good friends, and when she did black out, she ended at home at one of her girlfriend's house.
yes, yes,
So,
absolutely, yeah.
so
My
if you
girlfriend.
go on out and you're gonna be drinking, make sure you go with somebody that is your friend, someone that you know who got your back, regardless it may be, because that could have ended bad on so many ways. So the
Yeah,
fact that she made it home, well, not your home, but to your girlfriend's house, she had your back. She a real one. I don't know who she is, but
no,
she a
absolutely.
real
That's
one,
my
friend.
best friend. They all brought me, and it's funny because our houses were very close together. Like our
Okay.
houses, so that means they would have actually passed my house to bring me to her house, which was funny, just because they were like, I guess they didn't trust that like I would be okay. So she was like,
Right.
if anything happens, like I woke up, there was a bucket there, like everything was there, even the way like they took care of me. Like my friends are like, this is like 30 years of friendship at this point now. My friends
That's
are
what's
like
up.
these, like they don't.
Have friends
But
like
again,
that,
we do
people.
it for each other, right? We do it for each other. If I've
Right.
always been the designated driver for the most part because I don't really drink. So you know what I'm saying? Like, but you're right. Friendship is so important for that because that you're right. That could have. And I never really thought about it, but that could have ended awfully where I went home with some stranger man, and that would have not been good for me. Okay.
Exactly.
Anyhow,
We know.
tonight tonight's topic um, is an interesting one, and I actually got this from a video I'm going to show. I have edited the video down for the most important part because this person she likes to talk. So I was like, let me just let me edit this down. But the question is, are we basically all worthy of love? And I'm not talking about self love. I think we should all have self love. But when I ask that question is, are we all worthy of someone else loving us in the form we are currently in? And, listening to what this person had to say, there were certain aspects that I agree with, and then other aspects I was like, this is the type of dangerous message both on a female side, and we can talk about some of the dangerous things that you hear from men where that's just not how it works. So I'm going to play this video. Again, everyone, this is new. I'm hoping it does what it's supposed to do, but I'm going to play this video. It's like a minute, and then we'll come back to it. Come on. And here we go.
I don't know where the hell we got to this place where your worth is based on a guy's preference. It is not. It's a lie. I don't care if you're 40 pounds overweight. I don't care if you got 3 kids by 3 men. You are worthy, okay? Your worth is not tied to a man's preference. If you decide to pick yourself, to save yourself, to treat yourself the way you want to be treated, everyone else is going to fall in line or they're going to fall off and you're going to be okay because now you have raised your standards. I think we take life for granted. And how many moments of your life do you want to waste being sad because you're not somebody's wife? How many moments of your life do you want to waste being sad because a man didn't, quote unquote, pick you? Girlfriend, pick up your face. Remember where you come from. Don't you ever forget it. Do not allow somebody to decide who you are. You decide for yourself. Remember who you belong to.
Remember where you came from. So where is that? Let's start there. Remember who you are. Remember where you came from. So where exactly did you come from? So let's start there. So what is the foundation of remember who you are? What is your foundation? Now I'm saying out there. I'm not asking you
No,
in detail,
I
but
agree with you because that's why I stopped it there. That's why, like, she had more to say, and I stopped it there because I was like, remember where you came from. So what is your foundation? So this is, and I agree with you. Let's start backwards. The issue I have with messages like that from a female standpoint, if your foundation is already faulty, all you're doing is continuing that generational thing because you come from a faulty place, right? And you come from messages that weren't necessarily the healthiest messages. It is the same with a man. If he comes from a place where the messages about women or relationship or life were unhealthy, if he's going back to his foundation, it's already faulty. So he's going to perpetuate that throughout his life. So it sounds like a good soundbite.
A great one. Sounds very good. It sounds good. It sounds like she's saying a lot of words, but she's not really saying anything at all. But it sounds great. It sounds a great soundbite, right? And there's no shade to her at all, but it just the message like that kind of hurts the young generation and the current generation because there's no foundation on anything that she's saying, right? Now, if she was saying, for single ladies, if you want, you know what I mean? Like, I come and say, because remember who you are, that part just throws me off because you have to reference back to something to remember who you are. So are you referencing back to your mom and your dad that were married and your mom was this type of woman? Or are you referencing to him being, I'm a single woman, I don't need no man, XYZ? What is your foundation so we can understand what you're trying to tell the message of remember who you are? Like, what is your reference? Like, what's your footnotes? Like, who can I study to know that you're giving out good information, right? Just like with the pastor, he be at church he'll say stuff, but he'll reference a scripture. Job's, Jobs, Matthew, Numbers, refer to you know where to go to read for yourself. Even if he said and you're not quite sure, you can go to the word. I'm like, oh, okay, I see it too, and I can comprehend it myself. So just to say out there, remember who you are, just doesn't sit well with me personally because it doesn't make any sense.
Oh no. Mr. is already here. Let me read what Mr. says. Oh Lord, I can't see the full screen. Oh, there we go. Now I can. Mr. says, F no, everyone is not worthy of love. We all need to meet certain basic standards for someone to want to love us. It's best to accept what they are before it's too late for you. I'm gonna stand on business and I'm gonna agree with you. I think what a lot of women, I'm gonna speak to women mostly because single women, is a bigger industry than single men, right? There is
Yes.
an entire industry built around me being single. There is the beauty industry, even the financial industry. Come, you need to build your nest egg. You need to make sure, you need to make more investments. You need to give us more money. You don't really have anybody to depend on. Oh, you're single? Did life insurance thing? Oh, it's only you, your daughter. Oh, so your daughter is going to need not $250,000. Your daughter's going to need $500,000 because you know what? Like, you're single. And yeah, you and her dad are like, there's this whole, people don't even realize there's a whole thing about women being single. But the message that a lot of women are spouting, it's popular, but it is faulty. Okay? So I'm going to start with the one part where I'm going to agree with is yes, you have to love yourself. So I'm going to start with that. It starts with self love. And I am going to say something that people are not going to like, but I'm going to say it anyways. If you love yourself, you would never allow yourself to have 3 babies with 3 different men.
Message. Message.
If you love yourself, you wouldn't allow yourself to be 100 pounds overweight, 80
Message.
pounds overweight. You just wouldn't do that. Like, I got on a scale, I told you guys, and I can stand up right now. Like, actually, I'm going to stand up. Just so you guys, I lost 4 pounds and I feel great. Let me just stand up for a second. Can we please? This is what I call being a
A little
heifer.
something for the dress, y'all. A little something for the dress.
This is what I called being a heifer. I'm not a heifer. I clearly am not. However, I was too big for my own self. I have a standard, and I was not at that standard. But I'm far from a heifer. Like, far, I don't think everybody knew that. But I knew, ooh, girl, that's already way past where you know you're supposed to be. And I clocked that. I didn't wait for it to impact my life. I clocked it and said, because I love myself and I set goals and standards for myself, I need to get it together. So you can be who you are and someone else will love you is incorrect because your actions are already telling that you don't love yourself enough. I'm going to take a break because I need my throat to get moist. But twins, go ahead. I'd love your thoughts on that.
Yes, you that was crazy. Anyway, so yes, you have to love yourself first, number one. You cannot move forward without not loving yourself. Now, with loving yourself, you have to also be real with yourself at the same time too,
Mm,
right?
mm,
You know,
mm,
I can't be,
mm.
almost a size, I can't be 250 pounds out of shape or have multiple kids by multiple fathers expecting I'm supposed to get this high value man, right? Or a guy who's going to pay all your bills. Okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, no. You have to be real with yourself, right? And the first thing you need to do is first take accountability. And all right, what I need to do to improve myself first so I can attract what I want. That's the main thing. You want to be in a place to attract what you want. You can get, there's always somebody for someone or somebody for someone. You know what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
Your
Well,
person's
that's
out
good.
there. Now, have you passed over them? You might have. Now, with women, y'all might have passed over Mr. Right One. You know what I'm saying? Man, we don't get that too many options. So, but ladies, you might pass over them. So you might have to swing, you might just go back. And I'm not saying back to the deadbeat one. I mean, unless he's turned his life around, he's ready to be a father, and then rather be a first. If you mess with any dude that you gave a baby to, before y'all get in a relationship with him, he needs first to be a father first. He has to step up first to take care of his kids first. He has to show you that he's about his kids, number one. Now, just try to get back in your pants and it sounds good and look good because, oh, now we're a family because we look good. Don't do it for the look. If he's not taking care of his kid, going above and beyond, you can forget the whole us thing. It's great that he's doing more for his kids, but don't get back in a relationship if he ain't doing nothing for you, because he might have a hidden agenda. So respect yourself, respect everything you gotta go through, but look at the small signs. But what I'm saying is that you need to focus on yourself first before you can just, yes, love yourself, but also respect yourself. I'm done.
And for the sake of this continuing this conversation, I'm actually going to go to the dictionary and I'm going to tell you what Oxford has defined as worthy. So I'm going to give you two definitions. The first one is having or showing the qualities or abilities that merit recognition in a specified way. And then the more simpler definition is good enough or suitable.
Both of those are clear, straight to the point. There's no way you can misunderstand that. You have to be worthy.
So, so to, and I almost want to play that. You know what? I'm just going to go back again. I'm going to read this definition and I'm just going to go back and play Kendra's video. And I hope you see the fault automatically as soon as I play the video. So again, worthy. Just remember that when you're listening to this video. Worthy, having or showing the quality.
Okay, so there you go. All right, there you go. You back?
Oh, I'm back. I don't know what the hell happened. Is my
All right.
internet not interneting? Okay, I'm going to read it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
start over.
So, worthy, having or showing the qualities or abilities that merit recognition in a specified way. Also, good enough, suitable. Now I'm going to play this video again, and I want you to hear what she says about women and being worthy. Come on, touch screen, you're touching, and here we go.
I don't know where the hell we got to this place where your worth is based on a guy's preference. It is not. It's a lie. I don't care if you're 40 pounds overweight. I don't care if you got 3 kids by 3 men. You are worthy, okay? Your worth is not tied to a man's preference. If you decide to pick yourself, to save yourself, to treat yourself the way you want to be treated, everyone else is going to fall in line or they're going to fall off and you're going to be okay because now you have raised your standards. I think we take life for granted. And how many moments of your life do you want to waste being sad because you're not somebody's wife? How many moments of your life do you want to waste being sad because a man didn't quote unquote pick you? Girlfriend, pick up your face. Remember where you come from. Don't you ever forget it. Do not allow somebody to decide who you are. You decide for yourself. Remember who you belong to.
Yeah, you one line. As soon as it start, it's right there. Mm. Now, which is stay with me for a second. Don't lose your thought. The part where she said the men's preference doesn't matter. Since when? And why not? Doesn't the man who finds a woman finds a good thing?
That's the last I checked.
So don't I have to choose you to be my wife?
That is
Yes, you have to
correct.
accept it, right? You have to. I can propose to every woman in the world, but she gotta say I do, right?
That is correct.
But I'm the one who does the picking. So to say that a man's preference doesn't matter, that's all lies. That's that's false narrative right there. Let's start right there.
Not if you're dating, if you want to date men. Of course, men's preferences matter when you want to date men. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I, I want women to have critical listening and thinking skills. You might admire someone online, you might admire their social media life, but I really want you to listen to the words that are coming out of their mouth and ask yourself this: does this make sense? Oh my God, you're on vacation, and I love that for you, Jeff. And I cannot believe you're joining us. I hope you're somewhere amazing. But like, really start thinking about, even for me and twins. We talk about respectful discourse every single week. That is why I leave the link in the bio, like in the comment section. So anybody who disagrees with us at any point can click on, come right on, and be like, yo, don't really agree with you, don't agree with this. And I'm okay with that. I think what people have to again realize is being single, there's huge money in that. Respectfully, Kendra G has built her platform on single black women trying to find men. Not single women, single black women. And in some people's eyes, single black women are some of those women she described, overweight with multiple baby daddies. So she's speaking to her audience, telling the people because she's got a dating show and she has a dating app. I downloaded it. I even used it myself. And there are some heifers online. But I digress. I like real heifers, not like me heifer. I already stood up and everything. Like real heifers. But like think about that. So you have a woman who is literally now building an empire. She's built one social media. Now she has an app that you pay for. What other message would she send other than the one she just did? Because to say something else is bad for business. Girlfriend, listen. When you have that third baby with that third man, it limits the possibility of you finding any man who's going to come into your life and help you raise those kids, especially if they're girls. Let's also talk about that.
And not married. Like we can understand you have a baby father who passed away, or you married, got divorced. Like some things we understand, but three different men and nobody give you a ring. That's a problem. So you done people. So right now you're a rental car. Am I just pay and go and is that? I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. Car. I know that hit the nerves every time when I reference the woman in the car, but it's just what it is. That's how men see it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop
Yeah.
laughing.
You're not even a used car. You're a rental car. We have multiple baby daddies. You're not a new car. You're not even a used car. You're a rental car. And you know how everybody know how they use a rental car. They don't.
I'm renting one next week.
They slam the doors. They revving it hard. They don't care about nothing. They don't change
That
no.
is very true.
So you want
That's
to be a
true.
used car or a brand new car? We like the new smell. You ever get a new car like, oh my god, it smells so good. Oh, it's so tight and it got the power. It jumps fast. Yeah, we like that. Even with our women. Okay. And some used cars are good too, because it might have had one owner for 15 years
One
and
owner. There you go.
car for 15 years. So guess what? This used car ain't that bad neither. You know what I'm saying? It just need a little TLC, but I'm gonna take care of it for another 10 years, right? But anyway, I digress with the car scenario. I'm sorry, ladies. Don't shoot the messenger. Just listen to the message.
Ooh, Mr. Mister's coming with it tonight. He said, "Once upon a time, I listed four. She's fat. She has a bad attitude. She has debt, and she has kids by other men. Most of the women on Kendra G have all four. Damn.
Yeah. And the worst part about it is they actually feel entitled. And then they get mad when men would choose a younger woman who doesn't have the high mileage. I'm sorry, the high body. I mean, all the kids running around like them. So you want to shame us? Oh, you want your little girl? No, I just want somebody that it could be mine. Someone I can build a future with. Someone I can have whatever. And even if that young lady that you're hating on might have a lot of bodies, I will never know. I can't see it. Her, I see when you have multiple kids running around, I see your body count running around the house without me even have to ask you because when you have kids and you aren't married, that means you was playing Russian roulette, and
Oh,
it just you can only get pregnant once a year.
mm,
If you look, I'm saying 9 months, you got incubator. So that one person caught you at the right time, the right month, and boom, planted that seed. And once again, I your body count. But when you have no kids, you might have a lot of bodies, but I will never know unless you like, Cassidy, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But what I'm trying to say is that all that matters. So if you want to get picked, just be a better version of yourself. I'm done. Go ahead.
and here's the thing. And listen, the rental car thing is still killing me. I think that's actually very funny. Um, I think that's hilarious. So actually, I'm going to say two things. One, 1,000% agree with you. It's funny. I have this joke with my daughter's father. I said, "You're the only man in this world who can unequivocally say you slept with me. You literally have a child that looks exactly like you. That came from me. She calls me mommy. There is no doubt anyone sees us together. Yep, there you go." I said, "No other man. There could be 10 other guys that," and I'm like, "No, where's the proof? There's no proof. Where's the proof?" Right? My daughter is her father's proof that we were intimate. So yes, if you got 7 kids and 7 baby daddies, they know 7 men got you pregnant that you kept. What about all the other men? So men start calculating in their head all kinds of scenarios. So this is why I'm saying, going back to the idea of worth, where is your own self worth? Because the issue is, and again, mad respect to Kendra and what she's built, but she's also built a platform on a faulty foundation. She has built a platform for women who most, and again, not all of them, because there's some amazing women that have come on that show, but a lot of women, probably more in the majority, are actually what Mr. talked about, right? Overweight, unappealing, multiple kids by multiple men, all of these different things that are not necessarily seen as good qualities in the dating market. They come on her show and they're emboldened to say these most outrageous things, and it happens night after night, week after week, month after month. And now she's created a online dating platform where those same emboldened women are now coming and asking those things on these dating platforms. And instead of being realistic, she's just fallen into it and say, "Oh, you're worthy." No, your self worth actually dictates your whether you're worthy or not. And the fact, like I said before, the fact that you allowed 3 different men, because I'm just going to use her number 3 different men to lay down with you and create a fake family with you, and you were okay with that, tells me that you don't value yourself. So if you don't value yourself, why would someone else find you worthy? Because that's what you were looking for.
That's true. And honestly, big salute to Kendra G, because I'm not mad at her. You know what I'm saying? She's
Big
the fem-
loser.
she's the female version of Derek Jackson. She's capitalizing on it, so why not make money while doing it? So I ain't mad at her. I'm not mad at her for doing her things.
At
Hey,
all.
get your money, because in the day it makes her more valuable for a guy who may want her in the future. But that doesn't equate it for everyone else. And one thing that when I have these type of conversations, females want to say, "Well, the man, he got this, he got that." See, the one thing you realize when a woman gets pregnant, most of the time, about I don't have the numbers, but I say a high percentage of the time, they always have the kids with them, right?
Very high.
Very, I don't know the number, but most cases, unless you're a
Most
bad
women
mother
have big
and
children.
you got police record XYZ, unfit mother has a kid. So a guy can run around here and have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids, and still women will still want him. Now, If he ain't now, you know what? I can't even say if he's a deadbeat because I know deadbeat dad who's still getting some and still creating more broken homes, which blows my mind. I'm like, he has 4 different kids by 4 different mothers, and you let him hit you raw? That's not respecting or loving yourself there. Not at all. It's the same guy getting multiple women pregnant over and over again. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, but men ain't ish. We ain't ish, right? He didn't take care of his kids. Yes, all men. I'll say this: all men need to take care of the kid. You create a child, take care of your seed, your daughter and your son, whoever. Take care of your kids. But it's still your responsibility to protect your womb. You're not protecting your womb if you let someone who has all these kids run around here run up in you. Make it make sense.
I have to put that up because that was actually a hilarious comment.
Listen, my co-host of the top team, he said, "I ain't take care of another man's sperm." He said just like that. Yeah, you see little kids around, that's sperm. That's not my sperm. Why I'm taking care of another man's sperm? I'm like, damn, I didn't think about that. It is what it is. Just hey, I know, right? Fuck your feelings. Here we are here tonight. Here we are. This is the reality. But
Here, here,
hold on before you continue. But I want to say this: we're not throwing women away who have kids, multiple kids. We're not. No. We just want you to think differently, choose and do better, and understand that you may not be qualified to get the certain guys that as a woman with no kids can get. And you might look up, you might be able to get that guy. You know what I'm saying? But when you get him, are you gonna value him or are you gonna trick him? You understand? Like and then are you gonna damage him? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna value? Are you gonna appreciate it as man that don't have no kids, maybe, but will take on your whole family and be that guy? Or are you gonna value him when he come around? Or are you gonna treat him like a son? Like all that matters. And on top of that, when you do get him, are you gonna raise your kids to respect him? And he ain't their dad. Are you gonna make sure he's respected because he's stepping to the plate to take on your family, which is now his family? See, y'all want this type of guy, but then when you get him, how are you gonna keep him? Because these are things these guys deal with once they do accept you and accept your kids. But I digress. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this off the screen. You know what? It's funny. You said something that I don't like, and I don't like when men do it, and I don't like when women do it, and that's deflection. So you say something about me, and instead of just owning that, I say something about you or someone else, right? So you're saying, well, women will say, well, men do it. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why did you do it? Why did you make these choices? Why do you continue to make those choices, right? I think it is a conversation because it is a way to understand how someone thinks and how they make decisions. And deflection says to me, you find what you do wrong. You don't like what you did. So instead of taking it and saying, listen, you know what? I was out there looking for love in all the right places and ended up with babies. That's what I was doing. I was hoping that this man would love me if I gave him a child. I did it twice. I did it 3 times. It's not working. I recognize that I have to make a change. And I do recognize that having these 3 kids with these different men, it does lower my chances of maybe having the type of man that I want, but I'm doing the work. I'm putting in the work. I'm doing all of that. And ladies, and let's be clear, just because you see some social media like Bow Wow's baby mama, I think she now has 3 kids with 3 different men. Look in the mirror. Look. Whenever you have those delusional moments, just take a moment, like get a picture of, I'm just going to use her as an example. Get a picture of Bow Wow's baby mama. I don't remember her name. What's called Bow Wow's baby mama.
Okay.
Bow Wow's baby mama. And then you look at yourself.
Yeah. Everyone's not gonna have that same story. No, everybody's not gonna have that Sierra and Russell. The ones everyone can have that. You're gonna save me. And like you said, just look in the mirror. You look at Erica, you look at Sierra, you look at all these, like they one thing they did to help to keep themselves marketable is kept their figure together. If you know what I'm saying, regardless maybe they kept they still beautiful women. Even these women out here who are getting these young NBA players and they get pregnant by them, they're still looking.
Fine as hell. Fine as hell.
They
These
still,
women are fine as hell.
yeah, like as a guy, like shit. Why wouldn't I hit that? Now I want to hit it raw, but like damn. But because if they were Oompa Loompas, you think these NBA players will hit those women? No.
No, they would not.
So yes,
So
the
this,
looks do matter. If you can still be fine, and you know you have kids, if you can still keep the figure together, that still help your chances out. It's still a little harder, but it's gonna help you a lot because man, we're visual creatures.
all of that, and this is why I'm saying those messages are so dangerous. And women are not understanding the danger of that. The danger of another woman telling you that yes, you can go and look unhealthy, look unkept, display that you have bad decision making abilities, display that you don't have respect for your own body, like say like you don't even think about your future because if you did you wouldn't have made these decisions. You're not thinking about the future of your children because of the impact of you making decisions. Like there's a woman who's telling you if a man won't accept you with all of that, he's not worthy. Do you understand how damaging and dangerous that is? Because that is exactly what she just said in that message. That you need to. I'm sorry, baby girl. Baby girl, I'm gonna talk to you. Baby girl who's had multiple babies by multiple men. You didn't have boundaries in the first place, so how are you gonna raise them? You didn't have standards. What exactly are you raising now after the third kid with the third man? What standards are you raising? Because if you had standards in the first place, you wouldn't have had three. You would have had one, and you would have learned. Trust me, my daughter is a only child on purpose. You only got to do something once to go. Oh yeah, I don't like this. This don't feel good. This
And,
don't. This don't like this.
and to add to that, we judge you based on because once you have kids running around, we judge you on your past relationship. Like we ask questions about this. So did he marry you or how long y'all together? Like like we ask some fact finding questions like so he did the bare minimum and got the precious thing from you, which is a child. The most important thing he got from you. He did the bare minimum. But now you're expecting me to pay 90% of the bills. You're expecting to be dad to these kids. You expect me to do X, Y, Z. But what were these standards when you with that dude? Now I get it. And I understand. You probably mature after having that first one. I get that. But you can only have these rules to a certain extent because like, well, okay, I don't have to be here, and you're not gonna shame me and be like, well, you just not man enough. A real man would have married you first before getting you a child, or if he got you pregnant first, he would attempt to marry you. That's what real men
But
do.
but even if he didn't, you would require more for yourself, right? And I think that's the message that I want to give to our young ladies. If you've got nieces, daughters, whomever, like let them come to this part of the show, right? Young ladies, you need to have requirements for any man who decides that he wants to date you and bed you. Because yes, men are dating us because they want to bed us. It is for you to have requirements. It is for you to also be inquiring. If you are a young lady who's got her life going somewhere, you need to have standards. If you're in university, where's his life going to be? If he's the corner boy, probably not where your life's going to be. If he's already got two babies, very much likely not where your life's going to be. So why are you also not ensuring that this man who dazzled you with his looks or whatever he's dazzled you with a couple of dollars, okay, isn't his future, asking about his future? What are his plans? How does he see his life? Is there marriage in his future? What kind of parent does he want to be? What kind of household does he want to raise his children in? Is God important in his life and in his household? The requirements and the standards start before they bed you. They don't happen after. Because once you slept with a man, the only thing you can do now is not sleep with him. You done gave up the goodies. And to fathers, I will say, and I'm just going to speak to fathers tonight, make sure you are the best example of a man for your daughters to see. Because I would say my daddy was a flawed man, but he was a great daddy. And he made sure to make me understand that the mistakes that he made to bring me into this world, because if you don't know, I've said it before, I'm an affair baby. Love my daddy, rest in peace, daddy. But he was very open and we talked about it. And he was very clear about the type of man that I should be with. Sometimes I didn't take the advice, and here I am. But he made sure he was an example for that. Don't make your daughters ever feel like their self worth comes from anybody else. And that's the message I wish Kendra, with her large platform, had given. Being worthy starts with self worth. And when you have self worth, you make decisions based on the value you have placed on yourself. I don't look for outside validation. All of my validation for myself comes from internal, how I feel about myself. And so when I start to go, ooh, I don't feel so great about myself, I don't put on my makeup and go on Instagram and do a booty toot and put a picture up. No, I evaluate what is going on with you and why don't you feel well about yourself. And I go and I fix it. I go and I fix it. And so making sure that fathers instill, and this is why for when women say, "Oh, my kids don't need their dad," are you smoking crack? Or like seriously, are you smoking crack? That doesn't even make sense because fathers, especially daughters, fathers instill so much in daughters that you don't even begin to understand. And when you don't have a father, it shows. I'm sorry, it does. And then God, I'm surrounded by, I am the only person in my friend group whose parents did never marry. The only person in my friend group. In my friend group, most of my friends, their parents are still married unless one of them have passed away. And you see the healthiness in that. I don't have friends who don't have daddies. I don't even know if I could have a friendship with a woman. To be honest, I don't think I could because the negativity that they have talking about men is I hear it online. I'm like, girl, my God, like that is awful. This is what you really think. So my issue that I'm having is women, please decipher the information that you get online because you don't realize that we are single women are being marketed to every day, even by women who look like us. Worthy. I'm sorry.
Message.
I can't. I just I see your dating tip, Mr. I'm leaving it here so I can read it later. But like I think it is dangerous when we only listen to information that feeds our own warped reality. That's what the incel men do, right? That's so we have name for the men. So what's the name for the women on the other side? What are the women called? Because we have the names for the men, but there are a group of women who are doing the same thing. They only listen to information that feeds their warped reality and anything else, they discount anything else. Isn't that what incel men do? They form groups who feed the reality of these horrible women that we are, these attractive, horrible women who don't want to have anything to do with them or whatever the case might be. I've never been in an incel group. But so there are female incels too, are there not? That are feeding this reality that I can be overweight, I can be unkind, I can be rude, I can have multiple babies like multiple men, I can be educated, I can be on welfare, I can be all of these not so great things, but I still deserve the best of men.
That's like going to work every day and doing the bare minimal. Even if you do that, you're expecting to get the same raise as someone who's putting the time in. Make it make sense. Like I said, we should treat relationships like jobs, like work. I said this last season. I'm gonna say it again. Treat your relationship like a business. Treat it like a job. Every day you go to work, you're putting your best effort in. So every 6 month review, you want the highest review you get. So at the end of the year, get the highest rate you can get, the highest rate. So why don't you put that same effort into dating?
Let me, and maybe this is my dating tip already, right? Like, ladies, I'm going to tell you the two greatest assets we have from Toshiba's perspective. Here are the two greatest assets we have: our minds and our bodies as women. Our minds and our bodies. Whether we like it or not, men are physical beings. Women are also physical beings. Take it from a woman who dates both men and women. Okay? Women are also physical beings. We, as humans, are physical beings. And therefore, being in the best physical shape you can be is going to increase your likelihood of attracting the man that you want. In addition, when you get that man, having a mind that he sees is of value to whatever he's building in this world will help you go even further. And these are two things we can control by what we put into our bodies, how we output our bodies, so what we eat, and what exercising, walking, running, weightlifting, all of the different things you can do, and then feeding your mind through reading, through writing, through getting courses, just finding out new information. That there is no crazy secret. There's no crazy secret as to how I've dated some of the men that I've dated. It's literally those two things. I take care of my mind and I take care of my body because I have full control over both of those things. There is no crazy secret. You don't have to get a BBL. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to go get your mommy body. Go to the gym. Get an app. Count what your calories. Figure out your proteins. Get a weight scale. Which, by the way, I just ordered a scale, a food scale. I heard it's gonna like change my life. So like you too. I got some protein powder too. It's the whole thing. I wasn't getting enough protein. That's another story. But those are the things that you do. The easiest way to get and be worthy is to make yourself worthy. And it starts with your own self worth. So, sorry, Kendra, I'm going to have to give you an F for whatever that speech is that you were trying to give women because all it did was help them come onto your show every single night that you do the show and create content. These women have become content. Their ridiculousness have become content. And she wins off of content. She's been on red carpets and talk shows and all of these things by literally having ridiculous women on her show. And they're now turning around and say, well, Kendra says it, so it's right. Girl, your life is a reflection of whether Kendra's right. What is your life telling you? That's my TED Talk for the moment, twins.
I'm supposed to follow that? Bust all that. Everything you said there. You on that. It's just I agree. I second the message. About that.
It makes me angry. It actually makes me angry because I just remember the day when we used to be rational. It's funny. I'm watching a different world. I think I'm on like the last season. I started watching it like last week when I was recovering. And it is so interesting to see even how 90s sitcoms were written, the value when they talk about black men. You look at Dwayne and Whitley's relationship and how that worked. You look at all of the different relationships in that show. You look at the sisterhood and how sisterhood, there was actually accountability. If you look at Kim and even Whitley's relationship, Kim was never afraid to call Whitley out on her bullshit. And Whitley knew it was bullshit. She'd be like, Kimmy, okay, and be fun. You saw how Dwayne was able to talk to his woman and how when the black women were together by themselves, how they talked about men. It was just loving, beautiful way. You take that and 30 years later, it's bitter and it's all of this bullcrap. And nothing has changed that much. Nothing has changed that much. But our access to people, it's funny. I remember Rob used to say some of the stupidest people have some of the biggest platforms because they have social media. Because before, when you wanted information, you had to go find it in a book. You had to go find it in the newspaper, right? You had to wait. Thursday night was a Cosby Show in a different world. We had to wait till 8 and 8:30 to go and get that stuff. It wasn't just on demand. You didn't just go and everybody had a say. If you said something, you had to prove it. Somebody would question you, be like, "Why do you say that to she?" Well, X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't think that's true. And you literally go to the library and do whatever and go look it up. Now people just say whatever they want to whatever audience, and all they got to do is find people who will say, "Yeah, Toshiba's right. Yeah, twins is right." Doesn't matter how stupid we say, sound, and the stupid things that we say. This is the world we're now in, and women are falling for it because instead of just being okay with just being women. I remember when we were just women. We got up and we drank our water and we read our books and we mind our business and we went for walks and we dressed up because we wanted to be presentable. Now I see little girls. I saw a little girl the other day walking with a bonnet on her head, and it took everything in me to not go up and be like, "Do you know how you're representing yourself right now?" Because I would never, ever have thought about it 20, 30 years ago in my teens to be walking around with a scarf, a bonnet, or anything on my head. You did not leave your house not looking presentable. And you definitely didn't go on Beyonce and Blue Ivy's internet trying to find a man with a crumpled t shirt and booty shorts. So I'm sorry. Like, Kendra G for me is just not, and I'm just not going to listen to her. I love from a business standpoint, love what she's done and love what she's did. From a relationship standpoint, girl, your show is a gimmick. Your show's a gimmick.
Like I said before, can't knock them. I'm not mad at the hustle. Not mad at the hustle because if she ain't gonna do it, someone else is gonna do it. But the fact that the people are so gullible and just fall for anything. It's sad. But back to the standards. Love yourself first before you can start loving anyone else.
That part. That part. That part. That is the best way you could have left that. Love yourself first before you can start loving anybody else. And trust me, when you love yourself, people flock to you because it shows. It shows in the way you walk, how you hold your head up. It shows in your skin, ladies. Even in your skin, it shows you're happy because you're drinking your water, you're exercising, you're minding your business, your hair will grow, your skin glows. Everything is different when you start loving yourself. And no one is worthy of, listen, no one is obligated to give us love. No man is obligated to love us. And no, do I think that our self worth is wrapped up in a man? No, that's why it's called self worth. Your self worth is wrapped up in who you are, what you stand for, what you are about. And when you have self worth, you do attract a worthy man. That's the message I wish she had given. Nurture your self worth, and by nurturing your self worth, ladies, you will attract a worthy man. That's literally my last word. That's actually my relationship advice. Nurture your self worth so you can find yourself a worthy man. Twins, your dating advice.
Uh oh, yeah, I wasn't ready. Go ahead with Mister. I have one.
I'm gonna do Mr. You know what? I'll do Mr. dating advice. I think it's up here. Okay, let me hold on, Mr. I'm trying to this new thing here. He says, I said it and I'll say it again. We all need to meet certain basic standards to qualify for what we want. And that's a universal truth. And if certain things can be changed, it's your work to change them. Agreed. You and I basically almost just said the same thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. So my dating tip, because I still ain't got one. The whole show. The whole show's my dating tip. There you go, done. Um, who I want to talk to? I want to talk to the fellas. I want to talk to the men. No, I don't got to talk to the men because it's self-explanatory. Because at the end of the day, as men, we know we have to compete all the time, regardless. So, we don't have the luxury to be, 300 pounds and think I'm gonna get a slim trim and all that, unless I'm throwing money at her, right? Now we know that too. So you got the bag, you can almost get anything that you want. We know that. So ladies, this message to you, um, protect the womb. Protect the womb. That's number one, right? Because that's gonna dictate everything. And I understand that, life happens, but if you're a young lady watching the show and you don't have kids, the one thing that'll keep you in high value is don't have a kid that's not and you're not married. Be I'll go back and say this: don't have kids till you're married. To keep it simple, if a man is not willing to put a ring on your finger to commit to you to make him and give him your last name till death do us part, if he don't give you a ring, don't give him a child. I think that should be like the number one thing. You get married, you get a child. That's the reward for getting married, the child. There's your legacy. And of course, take care of yourself as well. And just let's get back to let's get back to the Cosby love. Let's get back to the partnership. Let's get back to black love, the real black love, not the Remy Ma and Papoose love, because you see that's not black love anymore. Let's get back to families. Let's get back to doing things right. Let's get back to raising our kids. Because as a whole in the black community, we're suffering because we have too many split homes, and everyone's chasing the bag. Dwight Howard's getting divorced already 6 months, and she wants half of everything, like and alimony. I'm like, I know, we're ending the show, but it's just the fact that like not even a year. That tells you it was always about the bag. So, fellas, you gotta protect yourself as well. But that's a whole nother topic. But once again, but the one thing I will say though, she was single. She didn't have any kids. She looked good, and she was able to bag him a basketball NBA player. You think she would be able to do that if she was? No, I ain't gonna say no names. If she was out of shape, no.
Top part.
So just what I mean, I saw her too. I'm like, damn, she is bad though. Yes, she is. Now I don't like the outcome of it because there's another man losing half his shit for somebody who did nothing for it. But that's a whole nother topic. but at least she had the opportunity to talk to him because she looked good. See how it works out. And mind you, he's not even. I mean, he plays in small league, but he's not in the NBA no more. He's no longer in the top echelon of NBA player, right? He's not retired, but he played other league. He can't get back NBA. But the fact that he's still able to find a pretty young thing. And the worst part about it too.
That part.
But I digress. I digress. I'm done. I'm sorry.
And we are done. So we want to thank you. We're using this new stream, so I hope everything worked out for anybody that was viewing. Again, please like, subscribe, and share. We really are changing the conversation around Black relationships. I feel like there is a part on the internet for people who really want to have respectful discourse and have a logical conversation about how we make things better, and we're a part of that. So again, like, share, subscribe, and we will see you all again next week.